Titanoboa versus a dinosaur. It's the kind of fight that explodes across the internet. A giant prehistoric snake against the rulers of the ancient world. But here's the first problem. This fight should never have happened because Titanoboa lived after the dinosaurs were gone. Around 60 million years ago, long after the asteroid impact wiped out Tyrannosaurus rex and its kind, a different monster ruled the swamps of South America. Its name was Titanoboa, and it may have been the largest snake to ever exist, up to 40 feet long, over a ton in weight, thick as a human torso, built not for speed, but for pressure. This wasn't venomous. It didn't need to be. Titanoboa killed by constriction. Once it wrapped around prey, it didn't crush bones dramatically like in movies. It stopped blood flow. It caused circulatory collapse in seconds. Now imagine that power scaled to something the size of a small car. That's what we're dealing with. But now let's bend reality. What if Titanoboa lived during the age of dinosaurs? Not with T-Rex and open plains, that would be unrealistic. Titanoboa was semi-aquatic. It lived in hot, humid swamps, slow rivers, dense vegetation. So the real question isn't could it beat any dinosaur? The real question is which dinosaur would be foolish enough to enter its territory? Let's eliminate the obvious. A massive sauropod? Too large. A full-grown T-Rex? Likely too powerful, too heavy. But what about a mid-sized predator? Something like a young theropod. Something fast, curious, territorial. Now we have a fight. Picture this. A humid prehistoric swamp, visibility low, water dark and thick with plant matter. A dinosaur steps into shallow water, hunting. It doesn't see the ripple. Titanoboa doesn't strike like a cobra. It ambushes. From beneath, it clamps onto a limb or the neck. Then the real weapon activates, coils. Layer upon layer of muscle wrapping tighter with every breath the dinosaur takes. Here's the physics. A theropod dinosaur relies on lungs and air sacs. If Titanoboa compresses the ribcage, oxygen flow drops, blood pressure spikes. Within moments, dizziness. Within minutes, collapse. But here's where it gets complicated. Dinosaurs were not fragile. Many theropods had powerful hind legs and sharp claws. If the dinosaur reacts quickly, it could slash at the snake's body. And Titanoboa, despite its size, was not armored. A deep claw wound could be fatal. So this fight becomes a race. Can the snake secure a full body wrap before taking lethal damage? In water, Titanoboa has the advantage. On land, the dinosaur does. Environment decides survival, and that's the part people miss. Prehistoric dominance wasn't just about size, it was about habitat. Titanoboa ruled swamps, dinosaurs ruled continents. If Titanoboa ambushed a small to mid-sized dinosaur in water, it could win. If a large, mature theropod fought back on solid ground, the snake likely loses. Now, here's the deeper layer. Titanoboa evolved after dinosaurs. Why? Because the extinction event created new ecosystems. Hotter climates, massive rainforest, no large terrestrial predators competing. Titanoboa wasn't competing with dinosaurs. It was thriving in a world left empty by them. Which raises an uncomfortable thought. If dinosaurs hadn't gone extinct, would Titanoboa have ever evolved that large? Or was it only able to become a monster because the real giants were gone? That changes the narrative. This isn't just a fight, it's a story about ecological opportunity. When apex predators disappear, something else rises. Always. Titanoboa didn't challenge dinosaurs, it inherited their absence. And that tells us something powerful about nature. Dominance is temporary. Vacuum creates monsters, and evolution doesn't care who ruled before, so who wins? In a controlled fantasy fight inside swamp territory against a mid-sized dinosaur, Titanoboa could absolutely kill. Against a large apex predator on open ground, the dinosaur likely wins. But the real winner is evolution, because both creatures existed due to environmental shifts that reshaped Earth again and again. And here's the final question. If a vacuum in the food chain creates giants, what is evolving right now in the shadows of our own dominance?